Ever felt like you're just wrestling with information overload?
Oh, constantly. It's a modern workplace hazard.
Right. Or maybe, your team isn't quite on the same page about what certain terms actually mean.
Definitely. Like sales versus marketing, defining a customer.
Hmm.
Classic example.
Exactly. Or maybe the sheer volume of jargon in your industry just feels like this constant uphill battle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we're diving into a powerful, yet maybe often overlooked, tool that could be your ultimate lifeline in this turbulent sea of information.
That's a challenge far too many organizations face. And it's precisely what we're going to tackle head on today.
Okay.
We're setting out to demystify ontologies. Now, that term, it might initially sound a bit academic, maybe even philosophical.
Yeah, a little intimidating.
A little, yeah. But as our primary source material reveals, it holds immense practical value for businesses. It really profoundly impacts how they manage knowledge, ensure internal clarity, and crucially, how they connect with their audience online.
So not just theory then.
Not at all. And this deep dive is primarily guided by some brilliant insights from Alexander Rodriguez Silva's semantic blog, specifically his piece, Ontologia para Análisis de Negocios.
Okay, Silva.
Yeah, and he brings this really unique and valuable perspective because he combines deep expertise in SEO with a foundational background in information science. It makes him, I think, an ideal guide for navigating this topic.
Sounds like the perfect person to learn from on this.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today is basically to give you a genuine shortcut to being well-informed. We want to show you not just what ontologies are, but really how they can fundamentally transform your approach to data management, foster seamless collaboration.
Which is huge.
Huge, yeah, and even revolutionize how powerful search engines perceive your business. We'll explore why these sophisticated knowledge structures are becoming increasingly crucial for modern enterprises.
From boosting internal efficiency.
Right, all the way to powering cutting-edge SEO strategies.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it. So let's just jump right in. When you hear the word ontology, I suspect for many listeners, their minds might instantly go to, philosophy classes.
Right, Aristotle maybe?
Exactly. Or something incredibly abstract and, far removed from daily business operations. It can sound rather intimidating.
It can.
And our source, Alexander Silva, he actually observes that its application in business analysis is still poco usual, quite uncommon. Why do you think that's the case? What's the underlying problem ontologies aim to solve that maybe businesses aren't widely addressing yet?
Yeah, it's a great observation and really a fundamental starting point. Silva highlights this core issue. Many companies just lack an explicit shared space for defining and categorizing their most fundamental business concepts.
An explicit shared space.
Okay.
Yeah, think about it. What exactly is a product within your specific organization? How do you really distinguish a service from a product? What's the precise relationship between, say, customer retention and customer acquisition metrics?
Good question. These terms are used daily, right? But they often exist with these loose, unwritten, and sometimes wildly differing interpretations across different departments.
The silo effect.
Exactly. This lack of explicitness, this reliance on implicit, unstated understandings, that's precisely where the problem begins. When things aren't clearly defined and formally agreed upon, ambiguity just creeps in.
Like a silent thief, yeah.
Right. Leading to miscommunication, data errors, wasted resources, just overall inefficiency. The very fact that ontologies are unusual in business suggests that many haven't quite grasped the foundational power of bringing these implicit understandings out into the open.
And formalizing them.
And formalizing them into a single unified blueprint of knowledge.
That truly makes a lot of sense. It's almost like everyone on a team thinks they're speaking the same language, but they're all referencing slightly different unwritten dictionaries in their heads.
That's a perfect analogy.
No wonder there's confusion. So, to get everyone on that same page, we obviously need a common formal definition. Our source points to a foundational definition from Studer et al. Back in '97, which states an ontology is a formal, explicit specification of a shared conceptualization. Okay, that's a mouthful.
It's a bit dense, yeah.
Let's break it down piece by piece, starting with formal. What does formal truly mean in a business context beyond just sounding, officially sanctioned?
Formal here is absolutely crucial. It really speaks to computability and precision. It means something that can be understood and processed not just by us humans, but by machines.
Okay, machine readable.
Exactly. Consider this. A human can often interpret a slightly ambiguous instruction, right? We infer meaning from context. We ask for clarification. A computer, though, it just can't.
He's black and white.
It needs precise, unambiguous instructions to function reliably. So, when an ontology is formal, it implies that all its definitions, relationships, rules. They're structured in a way that software, databases, even advanced AI systems can read, understand, and act upon without human intervention or subjective interpretation.
Ah, I see.
This stands in really stark contrast to those vague human-only interpretations where nuance can lead to significant errors, especially when different systems try to interact. It transforms that implicit knowledge into something truly actionable for technology.
So we're essentially giving our computers definitive commands, not just vague suggestions. That's a powerful distinction.
It really is.
Next up, explicit specification. This sounds like it's all about leaving absolutely no room for doubt or guesswork.
Precisely. Explicit specification emphasizes precision and achieving a clear consensus around a given subject. It means everything is clearly stated, meticulously defined.
And wiggle room.
No wiggle room, no implicit assumptions, no hidden meanings, no gray areas. Let's go back to your earlier example of the customer definition.
Sales versus marketing versus finance.
Right. Sales might see anyone who inquired as a customer. Marketing focuses on CRM engagement. Finance only counts completed transactions. An explicit specification built into an ontology harmonizes these.
How so?
It would state with absolute clarity what constitutes a customer within this company's agreed-upon universe of discourse. And maybe it even defines precise subcategories like prospect, active customer, lapsed customer, each with their own unequivocal criteria.
Okay, so really nailing down the details.
Exactly. And this clarity derived from that collective explicit agreement is just vital for consistent operations, reliable data, and accurate analysis across the entire organization.
And that naturally leads us to the final and perhaps most critical part of that definition, shared conceptualization. This really feels like the glue holding it all together, ensuring everyone's truly working from the same fundamental understanding.
What's truly fascinating here is that shared aspect. You nailed it. It's about getting everyone on the same page, officially, and making that collective understanding tangible, accessible.
Not just in someone's head.
Right. It's not just one person's perspective or a single department's view. It's a collectively agreed upon, formalized structure of knowledge that spans the entire organization, or at least a specific domain within it.
So it bridges those departmental gaps.
Completely. This common understanding eliminates the guesswork that so often plagues cross-departmental projects, data analysis initiatives, even just basic internal communications. It ensures that when someone refers to, say, a project deadline, everyone across the org has the same explicit understanding of what that entails, how it's measured, its dependencies, who's accountable. It literally transforms that implicit, often informal, tribal knowledge.
Tribal knowledge, I like that.
Into explicit, structured, and universally accessible knowledge.
So it's not just about agreeing on the words, but agreeing on the underlying concepts and their meaning. It's building a foundational common language for your business. Now, an ontology isn't just a simple list of definitions, is it? It sounds much richer, more complex structurally. Our source mentions descriptions, relationships, constraints, and individuals or instances. Can you walk us through those, maybe using a running example to make it more concrete?
Absolutely. Let's use the example of a tech company, maybe one that develops and sells specialized software products. Think of the ontology as the complete blueprint for how this company understands its own operations and offering.
Okay, tech company, got it.
First, we have concepts and properties, which fall under descriptions. Concepts are your high-level ideas like software product, customer, employee, feature, maybe support ticket.
The main nouns.
Essentially, yes. Properties are the attributes that describe these concepts. So for a software product, properties might include producted, name, version, price model, or OS compatibility.
The details about the nouns.
Exactly. For a customer, it could be customer aid, company name, industry, or subscription tier.
Makes sense.
Next, we have relationships. These define how these concepts connect to each other in meaningful ways. The verbs, if you will.
How they interact.
Right. For example, a customer subscribes to a software product, or an employee supports customer, or a software product has feature. These relationships are crucial because they model the real-world interactions and dependencies within your business ecosystem.
Okay, concepts, properties, relationships. What else?
Then come constraints. These are the vital rules that govern those relationships, ensuring logical consistency and data integrity.
A rule book.
The rule book, exactly. For instance, a customer must have an active subscription tier to use a software product, or an employee can only be assigned to one support ticket at a time, or a software product must have at least one feature.
Preventing impossible situations.
Precisely. These constraints prevent illogical or invalid data from entering your system, maintaining the integrity of your knowledge model and preventing costly errors down the line.
Very important.
And finally, we have individuals or instances. These are the specific, concrete occurrences of a concept, the actual things.
They're the real data.
Yes. So Sales Analytics Pro 3.2 would be an instance of the software product concept. Acme Corp would be an instance of a customer. Jane Doe is an instance of an employee. These are the actual data points that populate and bring to life the abstract structure of your ontology.
That sounds incredibly thorough. It's like building this meticulous family tree for your entire business, mapping out not just who's related to whom, but also the traits they share, the rules governing their interactions, right down to the individual members.
That family tree analogy is spot on.
And speaking of classification within that tree, the source also touches on taxonomies and inheritance. How do they fit into this rich structure?
Yeah, the family tree analogy perfectly introduces taxonomies. Taxonomies are indeed a type of ontology, but they primarily focus on a hierarchical classification. They model those is-a or part of relationships.
Like categories and subcategories.
Exactly. For our tech company, a taxonomy might show Sales Analytics Pro is a business intelligence software, and business intelligence offering is a enterprise software. It's that hierarchy.
Yeah. And inheritance.
Inheritance then describes how elements of a class like business intelligence software inherit characteristics from their parents or superclasses like enterprise software within that hierarchy.
So traits get passed down.
Precisely. If enterprise software has properties like require servant installation and supports multi-user access, then business intelligence software and, by extension, Sales Analytics Pro would automatically inherit those properties.
So you don't have to define those things over and over again.
Exactly. It allows for incredibly efficient modeling. You define it once at a higher level, and it propagates down the hierarchy. It's a fundamental principle in object-oriented programming, but it's equally relevant and powerful for structuring knowledge in any domain.
So if you define enterprise software as needing a license key and having security protocols, then all the specific types, including Sales Analytics Pro, automatically get those characteristics. That saves immense work and ensures consistency.
Huge time saver, huge consistency booster.
This all sounds very comprehensive, but it also implies there needs to be a clearly defined scope, right? You can't model everything.
Yeah.
Our source talks about the universe or domain of discourse. What exactly is that, and why is it important to define?
Yeah, if we zoom out slightly, the universe of discourse truly sets the boundaries for our ontology. It's the carefully chosen sandbox where all these definitions and relationships we've discussed actually play out.
The playing field.
Exactly. Our source defines it as the set of relevant entities to which quantifiers refer, or, maybe more simply, the complete set of terms used in a specific discourse. Essentially, it's the specific area of knowledge or the slice of reality that your ontology is attempting to model.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Connecting it to database theory, the source notes. A database is a model of some aspect of the reality of an organization. It is conventional to call this reality the universe of discourse. So for our tech company example, if your business ontology is about managing customer relationships and product subscriptions,
Right.
your universe of discourse would include customers, software products, subscription plans, billing cycles, support tickets, and all the properties and relationships between them.
But probably not like the office coffee machine maintenance schedule.
Exactly. Unless your business was coffee machine maintenance, it wouldn't necessarily include the chemical composition of the new office plant fertilizer. It's about meticulously defining the relevant entities and concepts for the specific business context you're trying to model.
Focusing your efforts.
Precisely. Ensuring your ontology focuses its efforts where they're needed most to deliver real value.
Okay, we've meticulously defined ontologies, broken down their intricate structure, set their boundaries. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. What are ontologies from a purely business standpoint? Our source uses that really powerful analogy, modelos de información anabolizantes, anabolic information models.
That's striking.
It really is a memorable phrase, isn't it?
Yeah. What does that mean in practical terms for a business striving for, clarity and efficiency?
That phrase, anabolic information models, is incredibly insightful because it immediately conveys strength growth. It means ontologies directly help overcome the challenges of those interpretations of Freud, those loose, inconsistent interpretations that are so prevalent in traditional, less structured domain models.
Okay, so strengthening weak models.
Exactly. In bodybuilding, anabolic substances help build and strengthen muscle mass, right?
Right.
Similarly, in the world of information, ontologies help build and strengthen the very definitions and relationships within a business's data landscape.
How does that play out practically? Well, consider the common scenario. Sales and marketing, both holding info about active customers in their own systems. One defines it based on the last 6 months of purchases, the other uses a 12-month window, or maybe even just email opens.
Right, those loose interpretations.
Exactly. And they're a recipe for disaster. Glaring discrepancies when merging data, errors in analytics, ultimately misinformed business decisions. The anabolic nature of ontologies strengthens these definitions by making them utterly explicit, formal, and universally shared.
Got it.
It eliminates ambiguity. It ensures that when you talk about an active customer, every person, and crucially, every system across the enterprise, is referring to precisely the same concept with the identical agreed-upon criteria.
Makes your data more robust.
Totally. More robust, reliable, genuinely usable across the entire organization. Just like a bodybuilder's muscles become more powerful and efficient.
That's a fantastic way to put it. So moving from vague, conflicting understandings to robust, clearly defined, universally accepted structures. Our source mentions that ontologies allow businesses to explicitly define the logical structure of concepts, their relations, and also the axioms that govern their interpretation. We've covered concepts and relations, but what exactly are these axioms in a business context? Sounds a bit like pure math.
It's true, axiom has that mathematical ring, but its application here is profoundly practical. An axiom, as the source notes, is basically a fundamental truth or assumption presumed correct within a system, though not necessarily provable within that system.
Okay, like a bedrock rule.
Exactly. In an ontology for business, axioms are the non-negotiable bedrock rules that define the logical behavior and constraints within your specific domain. Think of them as the absolute self-evident truths that your business operates by and which every system must adhere to.
Can you give an example from our tech company?
Sure, an axiom might state, every software license must be associated with exactly one customer account, or a support ticket cannot be resolved without a documented resolution step.
Ensuring process integrity.
Right. Or even a product feature must belong to an active software product. These aren't just descriptive, they are foundational truths your business lives by. They enforce integrity and ensure that any automated reasoning or data analysis doesn't contradict your core business logic.
And it forces you to surface those assumptions.
Absolutely. It raises that important question. How many unspoken, unverified assumptions are currently guiding your business decisions or data models? Ontologies force those assumptions into the open, making them explicit, verifiable, testable. That's invaluable for consistency and preventing logical errors that can compound really quickly in complex systems.
I can certainly see how formalizing those unstated rules makes a huge difference, especially with complex, interconnected systems. And speaking of formal, the source highlights this intrinsic connection between ontologies, mathematical logic, and formal representation, emphasizing that this is key because it means ontologies can be codified and recognized by computers. How does this coding actually happen? Are there specific languages?
Yes, exactly. That connection to mathematical logic is precisely what elevates ontologies beyond just, pretty diagrams. It makes them truly computable, machine actionable.
So computers can do things with them.
Right. And this computability means they can be represented in various representation languages. And these form a spectrum, really, from highly visual to deeply programmatic. Yeah, our source helps us understand this by differentiating between lightweight and heavyweight models. Lightweight ontologies are typically more visual, less formally structured. Think of a really detailed, meticulously organized mind map, maybe a comprehensive spreadsheet acting as a controlled vocabulary, or a simple hierarchical taxonomy used for internal document classification.
Useful for people, maybe less for machines.
Generally, yes. They're incredibly useful for human understanding and shared conceptualization, but they might not be fully machine interpretable for complex reasoning tasks.
Okay, so what's a heavyweight ontology?
On the other end, heavyweight ontologies are those codified using highly expressive knowledge representation languages. A prime example, widely adopted, especially in the semantic web world, is OWL, the web ontology language.
OWL.
OWL allows for creating incredibly rich, machine-readable ontologies that can express complex relationships, properties, and those crucial axioms we just discussed. These heavyweight models enable sophisticated reasoning and inferencing by software.
Which you need for.
Crucial for advanced applications like intelligent agents, semantic search, or highly complex automated data integration tasks. The choice between lightweight or heavyweight, it depends entirely on the specific needs of the business and the complexity of the problems they're trying to solve. It's really about matching the tool to the task.
So it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all solution. Businesses can pick the level of formality that matches their needs, from a quick diagram to a fully codified system that could power their AI.
Exactly. Scalability and formality.
It sounds like a powerful, versatile tool. Yet our source notes that while ontologies have seen crescente interest ao longo da última década, growing interest over the last decade,
Which is true.
there's ainda algum caminho a percorrer. Still some way to go before they achieve consistent widespread adoption and their full potential. Why do you think that is? And specifically, why is business analysis identified as one of the areas where os beneficios deben ser visibles? The benefits should be visible first.
Yeah, that's a very insightful observation from Silva. I think there are several converging reasons for this slower adoption, despite the clear benefits and that growing interest. One primary factor is just the perceived complexity in the learning curve.
It sounds hard.
It can sound daunting, right? The terminology itself, ontology, axioms, formal specification, can intimidate business professionals who aren't deep into computer science or philosophy. There's also, frankly, a general lack of widespread awareness about their tangible, practical benefits outside of academic circles or very specialized information management fields.
And it takes effort up front.
Absolutely. Implementing a robust ontology requires a significant upfront investment in meticulous conceptual modeling, getting that consensus across the organization, and often bringing in new technical expertise. This can seem like a big hurdle when the immediate, easily quantifiable ROI isn't always obvious to every stakeholder.
But the tide is turning.
Undeniably. That growing interest is a powerful indicator. The explosion of data, the increasing reliance on AI and machine learning for everything from customer service to predictive analytics, and a heightened need for better data governance and compliance. These are all pushing businesses towards more structured, explicit knowledge representation.
And why business analysis first?
Because business analysts are precisely the people who routinely grapple with defining business processes, understanding complex requirements, and crucially, bridging that gap between abstract business needs and concrete technical solutions.
They're on the front lines of ambiguity.
Exactly. They're often the ones struggling most directly with those loose interpretations, data inconsistencies, and communication breakdowns between departments. By applying ontologies, they can define concepts, processes, data flows with unprecedented clarity and precision.
Making their job easier, essentially.
And more effective. It makes their business models more robust, their requirements more accurate, their solutions more effective. This leads to benefits that are immediately visible. Improved project outcomes, significantly reduced errors, demonstrably clearer communication. It empowers them to build a stronger foundation for everything else.
That makes perfect sense. Business analysis is truly where these abstract ideas hit the ground running, where conceptual clarity directly translates into operational improvements.
Right on.
And speaking of hitting the ground running, let's turn our attention now to the really tangible benefits. What does this mean for a company's bottom line? It's operational effectiveness. The number one benefit our source highlights is gerar entendimiento común sobre conjuntos específicos de informaciones, generating common understanding. You touched on this, but can you elaborate further on why this is so invaluable, especially in complex, fast-moving markets?
Absolutely. In today's complex, often highly technical, rapidly evolving markets, common understanding isn't just a nice to have, it's an absolute competitive necessity.
Table stakes, almost.
Almost, yeah. Our source powerfully emphasizes that ontologies acaba com suposições e torna explícitos as definições e relações. They do away with assumptions and make explicit the definitions and relationships between your core business entities. This isn't just semantics, it's about operational integrity.
Can you give an example?
Yeah.
Like the product life cycle.
A perfect example. Let's use our tech company again, focusing on that product life cycle. From R&D and design through marketing and sales to customer support. Each department might informally define product status their own way.
Okay.
R&D sees it as in alpha, marketing calls it the pre-launch buzz phase. Sales lists it as unavailable for order, support deals with beta user feedback. Without an ontology, that's 4 different, potentially conflicting interpretations of basically the same underlying concept.
Yeah.
Potential chaos, yeah. An ontology formalizes this. It creates a single explicit definition for product status with agreed-upon states: ideation, development alpha, development beta, general availability, end of life, along with precise criteria for moving between states.
Everyone uses the same roadmap.
Exactly. Everyone works at the same facts, uses the same terminology. This dramatically reduces miscommunication, prevents delays, allows for seamless, efficient collaboration across the entire life cycle. As the source so aptly states, "O entendimiento común son valiosos por sí so." Common understanding and explicit premises are valuable in themselves. That intrinsic value, the sheer clarity, often justifies the investment alone.
That's a powerful point. Clarity itself is a major asset, especially when you consider how much time gets wasted just clarifying misunderstandings.
Huge amounts of time.
Beyond internal understanding, our source also highlights how ontologies facilitate data integration and interoperability. This is a monumental challenge for so many organizations, especially those with legacy systems that just don't talk to each other. How do ontologies provide a solution here?
This is truly a potential game changer for any organization struggling with fragmented data and those persistent data silos. Ontologies soportan integración de datos y aplican conocimiento de dominio a datos. They support data integration for analysis and strategically apply domain knowledge to that data.
Go.
And this directly facilitam a interoperabilidad de aplicações. They facilitate the interoperability of applications that are based on different data models.
So like a translator.
Think of it exactly like building a universal translator specifically for your diverse systems and databases. Many companies operate with this patchwork of systems: an old CRM, a new ERP, a marketing platform, HR, logistics, all storing related but often differently structured data.
It's typical setup.
Pretty typical, yeah. An ontology provides a common overarching semantic layer above these disparate systems. Instead of writing complex, brittle, point-to-point code to translate data between each pair.
Which breaks all the time.
Yeah. Constantly. You map each system's data to the shared ontology. The ontology then acts as the central hub of meaning. When one system needs data from another, it retrieves it through the ontology's common language.
The hub-and-spoke model for meaning.
Kind of, yeah. It ensures that customer ID in the CRM is correctly understood as the same client identifier in the ERP, even if they use different field names or data types. This dramatically simplifies data integration, makes sophisticated analysis across systems way easier, and significantly improves the overall data landscape and agility.
A universal translator for data sounds like a dream come true for many IT departments. Save countless hours, countless headaches.
Absolutely. A massive reduction in integration pain.
And when you achieve that level of interoperability and explicit definition across your data ecosystem, it seems like the natural outcome would be a big reduction in time and cost, plus better data quality. Is that really true?
Absolutely. That's not just an assumption. It's a direct, measurable consequence. The source explicitly states that by enabling this interoperability and explicit definitions, ontologies reducem, por tanto, tempo y custo de desenvolvimento. They therefore significantly reduce development time and cost.
How?
Just imagine the immense resources currently spent on manual data cleaning, reconciling conflicting data, building and maintaining those custom integration layers. With a well-designed ontology, much of that effort is either completely eliminated or vastly streamlined. That frees up valuable developer time and budget.
And the data quality part.
Furthermore, they melhorem a qualidade dos dados. They tangibly improve data quality through 2 key mechanisms. First, the inherent creation of metadatos, data about data.
Okay, data about the data.
Right. An ontology naturally generates incredibly rich metadata. It tells you not just what a piece of data is, but its origin, ownership, quality metrics, how it precisely relates to other data points. This context is invaluable for data governance, trust, auditing.
And the second mechanism.
Second, it facilitates the creation of a kind of Arver genealogical relational genealogical tree for your data.
Data lineage.
Exactly. This helps meticulously track data lineage, where data came from, how it's been transformed, where it's being used. This traceability is absolutely crucial for compliance, for robust auditing, and maybe most importantly, for quickly and accurately debugging issues when they inevitably arise.
Find the root cause faster?
Much faster. If you have a data quality problem, that genealogical tree helps you trace it back to its precise source and fix it.
And to underscore these tangible benefits, the source briefly mentions estudio de caso duplo, de cómo usamos de ontologias gerou mais acessos para dois sites. A double case study showing ontology use generated more website access.
Yeah, it's brief but powerful.
While full details aren't there, you can easily see how this happens.
Oh, absolutely. Based on everything we've discussed. If an ontology helps a business define its products, services, locations, unique value proposition with crystal clarity and machine readability,
Then Google understands it better.
exactly. Search engines like Google can then more accurately and confidently match those offerings to complex user queries. This direct, enhanced understanding leads to higher rankings, better visibility, maybe rich snippets in search results, and yes, measurably more organic website traffic. It's a direct business benefit of Google understanding your business better than the competition because you've laid it all out clearly.
That brief mention of increased website access is a perfect segue into our next section because it links directly to digital visibility, modern business ops. Our source talks about automating knowledge, especially in analysis and decision-making areas, often seen as too complex, too nuanced, too human for reliable automation. How do ontologies make this leap from just data to intelligent, automated action possible?
Yeah, the primary challenge in reliably automating complex analysis and decision-making usually stems from the sheer difficulty in standardizing data input, consistently interpreting that data, and then reliably generating actionable insights. Human interpretation just introduces variability, inconsistency. Ontologies provide the definitive solution by enabling the creation of repositorios semanticos semantic repositories. These aren't just ordinary databases, they're essentially knowledge bases structured not just by data types or tables, but fundamentally by meaning and relationships.
Knowledge bases, not just databases.
That's the key difference. They explicitly use ontologies como esquemas para crear sentido acerca de esos datos as schemas to create meaning about that data. This means all those relationships, properties, axioms we discussed, they aren't just external documentation, they are built right into the data structure itself.
So the meaning is in the data structure.
Exactly. And what this profound shift enables is raciocinio automatizado sobre los datos posibles y fácil de implementar. Automated reasoning over the data becomes not just possible, but surprisingly easy to implement.
Can you give an analogy?
Sure. Imagine a highly intelligent, indefatigable assistant. If you just give it a pile of files, it might organize them alphabetically, maybe by date, simple sorting. But if those files are intrinsically linked by an ontology, meaning the assistant understands that invoice 123 is for customer A, contains product X, is related to order 456, and triggered a shipment notification. This assistant doesn't just organize, it understands the profound meaning of every document and how they intricately relate.
It sees the connections.
It sees the connections. It could then automatically answer incredibly complex questions like, which customers who bought product X last quarter also had support tickets for that product, and what was their average resolution time? Or even automatically trigger actions like sending a personalized follow-up email when a specific condition about product usage is met.
Wow.
All because the explicit relationships and business rules are understood and processed by the system. This moves us light years beyond mere data storage to genuine knowledge automation and intelligent decision support.
That's a truly powerful vision, moving from raw data to automated, intelligent, action-driving business outcomes. And the direct connection to search engines like Google is something I know many businesses are keenly interested in. How do ontologies practically, directly help a business improve its Google ranking or overall digital visibility?
This is absolutely critical for digital visibility today, and it's precisely where Alexander Silva's expertise in semantic SEO really shines. When a business meticulously creates an ontology for its internal analysis, it doesn't just structure its internal knowledge, it structures the intricate connections between all its public-facing data, too.
Products, services, location.
Exactly. Its products, services, locations, personnel, unique selling propositions, its entire field of action. This highly structured, deeply connected data then makes os sistemas dependentes dessas informações usarem você como fonte. Meaning, the powerful search systems that depend on this information will naturally leverage the connected data you've created and will increasingly use you as an authoritative, reliable source.
Because you've made it easy for them.
You've made it easy, and you've made it clear. Google isn't just looking for isolated keywords anymore. Its algorithms have evolved. They try to understand the meaning, the entities, the relationships between concepts on the web.
Understanding intent, not just words.
Precisely. It wants to answer complex user queries with precise, relevant information, not just match strings of text. When you present your business's information in a highly structured, semantically rich way, guided by an ontology, you are, in essence, speaking Google's most sophisticated language.
Giving it the map.
You're providing it with a clear, unambiguous, machine-readable map of your business's entire domain. This vastly enhanced understanding makes it exponentially easier for Google to comprehend what your business is truly about, what you offer, who your customers are, how it all logically connects.
Which leads to
Google confidently identifying you as an authoritative, trustworthy source for specific topics. That translates directly to higher rankings, eligibility for rich snippets, featured results, and significantly improved organic search performance. It's about providing that deep context that search engines crave.
So helping Google understand the what, the who, the how of your business, not just a collection of keywords. And a crucial part of how this translates into SEO, our source suggests, is through something called content modeling. What exactly is content modeling, and how does it act as that practical bridge to next-level SEO?
Yeah, content modeling is a truly strategic and, I think, forward-thinking approach to managing your entire digital content ecosystem. Our source defines it as helping definir cómo seu conteúdo será organizado y dividido para que pueda ser gerenciado y usado en todos los ambientes que te gusta. It helps define how your content will be meticulously organized and divided so it can be effectively managed and flexibly used across all the various environments and platforms where your business operates.
So not just the website blog?
Not at all. The core idea is to dividir todos los conteúdos que sua organización produce en elementos comuns. Instead of creating a blog post as one monolithic blob of text, you strategically break it down into its constituent atomic parts. The title, author, publish date, summary, main body text, images, calls to action, related products, whatever makes sense. Each of these is treated as a distinct, reusable content element.
Breaking it into building blocks.
Perfect analogy, building blocks. This intelligent decomposition allows content to be desconstruido y movido por sistema de tecnología para ser aplicado en diversas plataformas.
And the benefit?
The profound benefit here is that your content becomes libre de plataformas, programas y protocolos de acceso, essentially truly platform independent, inherently intelligent, robustly structured, and automatically optimized.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Imagine you write a comprehensive description for a new software product. With content modeling, you write it once, meticulously defining its individual elements. Then, that same underlying structured content can be dynamically pulled and displayed on your e-commerce site.
Okay.
Automatically reformatted differently for a mobile app notification, concisely summarized for a smart speaker query, or even used to effortlessly generate a structured social media post. All without manual reentry, tedious copy-pasting, or time-consuming rewriting.
Create once, publish everywhere intelligently.
Exactly. This creates incredible operational efficiency and ensures absolute consistency across all your diverse digital channels. That's a fundamental win for both user experience and brand integrity.
So instead of creating a separate blog post, tweet, LinkedIn update, app notification, you create the core content once, structured, and it adapts. That sounds like incredible efficiency. A massive time saver for content teams?
Huge. It fundamentally changes the content workflow.
And this sounds like a complex process to implement. Is there a specific methodology or discipline for making it a reality?
Exactly. It is a strategic shift. The specialized process that preenche as lacunas entre estrategia y desenvolvimiento is called content engineering. It's the practical, hands-on application of content modeling principles.
Content engineering.
Content engineering systematically transforms your traditional content, which is often static, tightly coupled to specific platforms, hard to repurpose into formato independiente, inteligente, estructurado y optimizado.
How does it work?
It involves a comprehensive approach, deep analysis of your content ecosystem and user needs, designing the precise content models, which crucially are informed by your business ontology.
The ontology connection again.
Always. Establishing efficient workflows for content creators who need to understand their work will be desconstruido y movido, and finally implementing the sophisticated technical systems to manage, store, and intelligently distribute this structured content. It's the essential bridge that takes the theoretical benefits of content modeling and makes them a practical, scalable reality. It ensures your content is not just discoverable, but truly adaptable, reusable, and future-proof.
This definitely sounds like a significant strategic shift in how content is perceived and managed. Our source makes a rather bold claim about this. Conteúdo estruturado é o SEO do futuro. Structured content is the SEO of the future. That's a very strong statement.
It is strong, yeah, but incredibly forward-looking.
Can you elaborate on why Alexander Silva believes this so strongly? What does it truly mean for businesses of all sizes, from startups to large enterprises?
He elaborates on several key reasons why structured content, powered by ontologies and crafted through content modeling, isn't just a trend, but the foundational future of SEO. First, there's adaptability.
Being able to change quickly.
Exactly. Structured content empowers companies to se adapte a mudanças do seu mercado, novas plataformas e redes sociais. In today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, new platforms emerge, existing ones change formats, user behaviors shift instantly. If your content is monolithic, unstructured, tied to one platform, you're stuck. Every major change needs a massive, costly effort of recreation or reformatting. But if your content is structured and platform independent, it can dynamically adapt. Can your product info instantly respond if a major social platform changes its format overnight? Or if a new AI search interface becomes dominant, pulling info in new ways?
Good question.
Structured content, guided by an ontology, makes that sophisticated adaptation not just possible, but far less resource-intensive. It gives you incredible agility.
Okay, adaptability. What else?
Second, Silva directly addresses a crucial misconception regarding accessibility for all. Many small or micro enterprises might mistakenly think content modeling and ontologies are luxuries only for large enterprises with vast resources.
Yeah, it feels expensive.
But Silva explicitly states, pequeñas y microempresas también pueden investir para tener control, pupando dinero y ganando tiempo. Small and micro companies can also invest to control their content, avoid rework, save money, gain time.
So it's feasible for smaller players.
Absolutely. While there's an initial investment in expertise and setup, the long-term savings in content production time, the dramatic reduction in rework, the enhanced ability to rapidly deploy consistent, high-quality content across multiple channels, that often far outweighs the initial costs. It's about working smarter, leveraging technology to amplify impact, enabling even smaller players to achieve enterprise-level efficiency.
Leveling the playing field a bit.
In a way, yes. And finally, the ultimate promise is a significant competitive edge.
Standing out from the crowd.
Right. The source asserts, usando dados estruturados con modelagem de conteúdo, o seu projeto de SEO vai levar sua empresa muito além da concorrência. In a world where everyone's vying for attention, the ability to clearly, consistently, comprehensively communicate your offerings to advanced search engines and AI systems, and to efficiently adapt to every new channel becomes a truly decisive advantage.
So it's a strategic shift.
It fundamentally shifts your strategy from just keyword stuffing or chasing minor algorithm changes to building a robust, semantic, deeply intelligent foundation for your entire digital presence. It's not just playing the game, it's defining the rules of the future game.
That's a powerful vision. Future-proofing your content strategy, which is essentially future-proofing your business visibility. And this all circles back beautifully to the core idea of ontologies.
Precisely. And this is why Alexander Rodrigues Silva concludes with such conviction. É por isso que a criação de uma ontologia para análise de negócios vai ajudar a construir o próximo nível do seu SEO. He isn't just guessing here.
His background gives it weight.
Incredible weight. As he details on his blog, he's a recognized expert in SEO semantic SEO, with over 2 decades navigating the digital universe. His academic foundation is deep in biblioteconomia y ciencia da información, library science and information science. His research focuses on indexação, classificação y categorização da informação.
So he really understands organizing information.
Deeply. And crucially, he's actively connecting these traditional, robust information management tools, ontologies, taxonomies, controlled vocabularies with cutting-edge fields like AI and large language models, LLMs. He's exploring knowledge graphs, autonomous agents. So when he talks about ontologies being the fundamental key to next-level SEO,
He knows both sides.
he knows both sides, how information is systematically organized for humans, and how modern search and AI systems consume, interpret, and leverage that structured information. It's a rare and profound understanding.
Okay, wow. Today, we've embarked on quite a fascinating journey, haven't we? moving from the seemingly abstract world of ontologies
Which maybe felt a bit theoretical at first.
to their very tangible, measurable impact on how modern businesses operate, communicate, and crucially, how they get discovered online. We started by meticulously defining what an ontology truly is, that formal, explicit specification of a shared conceptualization.
Right, breaking down its components, concepts, properties, relations, constraints, instances, and understanding its vital scope, that universe of discourse.
And then we explored its profound business implications, seeing how these anabolic information models fundamentally overcome that pervasive challenge of loose interpretations.
Offering that powerful, consistent way to define core concepts, their relationships, even the foundational axioms governing them. We talked about why adoption still has, some way to go, but why the benefits for business analysis are becoming so visible.
We then dove into the immense practical benefits, driving clarity through common understanding, dramatically facilitating complex data integration,
Promoting that seamless interoperability between systems.
and ultimately leading to significant reductions in cost and tangible improvements in data quality.
And we connected all of this directly to the future of digital strategy, showing how ontologies enable sophisticated automated knowledge systems, structure critical data for search engines like Google,
And powerfully fuel the next generation of SEO through intelligent content modeling and engineering.
Yeah, what we've consistently seen throughout this deep dive is that knowledge is most valuable, not when it's just stored somewhere, but when it's truly understood, explicitly defined, and intricately connected.
It's the connections that matter.
They really do. Ontologies provide that foundational blueprint for understanding, turning implicit assumptions and fragmented information into explicit, computable assets that consistently drive internal efficiency, foster external visibility, and build a powerful competitive advantage in this increasingly complex digital world.
So what does all of this truly mean for you listening right now, for your organization? As information continues to just explode at this exponential rate, could a lack of explicit shared understanding be the single biggest hidden cost, silently eroding efficiency and innovation in your business?
It's a serious question to ask.
And what proactive steps could you take, maybe starting small, to begin mapping your own universe of discourse, unlocking its full potential, not just for internal clarity and collaboration, but for how the rest of the world, including powerful search engines and AI systems, perceives and engages with your business?
The semantic web isn't some far-off future concept. It's really here now. And robust ontologies, whether lightweight or heavyweight, are arguably your most powerful map to navigate and, indeed, to thrive within it.